You're going to live until you're 81 years of age, if you're a man, or 85 years if you're a female. I want to show you how and why we travelled Australia for 18 months full time, and then we decided to give it all away. More on that later. Let's rewind to 2019. I had this terrible feeling of, is this it? I was earning all the money, buying all the dumb shit, and just basically existing in life. Ask an elderly person what their biggest regret is. Most will say, I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd done this. Unfortunately, we go along in life with the blinkers on. I certainly did. Until that life-changing event happens to shake shit up and get you moving. Well, for most anyway. Some people are just really self-aware and live life fully, knowing each day where they're at. For me, it was a combination of wanting to travel Australia and the desire to live more with my family. But ultimately, it was the death of my sister that set us on this journey and this path. It was the final push we needed to get going. When this happened, I asked myself, what the fuck am I doing in my life? I mean, really, remember the old person? That's why we decided to travel, before we really couldn't. This voice kept saying, go on, do it before it's too late. Tomorrow is not promised, my friends. We had all the signs that what we were doing was right for us. So mortgage rates are increasing.
$1,200 a month and $1,500 a month extra.
Cost of living was high.
Around $2,000. So $2,000, that's $25,000 a year. So
debt was up there. We had all the dumb shit. I was super stressed, and our family just wasn't cohesive like it should have been. So we ordered our caravan, ordered our car. We're getting ready for our journey of a lifetime. The next step was a little interesting for us. So it was pulling our kids out of school. So we pulled them out at the end of 2019 in preparation. Mind you, also, we were a little bit over the system, to be honest. Man, did we hear the comments. Little did they realise 2020 was around the corner and everybody was about to be schooling their kids from home. Fortunately for us, we were already in the rhythm, so it was handy. For the most part, homeschooling was good. There's initial teething problems, which homeschooling I'll go through in another video down the track if people wish. It was mainly about figuring out the learning style of the kids, and that's different for everybody. There's options on distance education, home education, unschooling. Next, this is where it got a little uncomfortable for us. We decided that we were going to not come back to our home, so we were going to sell it. That's a big decision. We actually got really lucky, so through a conversation, we sold our property off market. Thank goodness. So none of the open homes and all the cleanliness and all the rubbish you've got to go through there, so we were fortunate. Now, you don't need to sell your home to travel full time. You could rent it, you could Airbnb it, you could just ditch your lease if you're renting. There are options, or keep your home. Now, we were thinking, this is overwhelming. Now what? We sold the house, the van arrived, it was time to pack her and get ready. Now, your choice of what you travel Australia with will be up to you. For us, it was a caravan and a four-wheel drive, which suited our needs as a family of four. I've met people traveling this country who are in everything from a basic tent to camper trailers, van life, buses, you name it, we've seen it. It doesn't matter what you traveled in this country. All of these people were just loving life at this point. They were just fortunate and happy to be doing what they were doing. There is no one perfect setup for everybody. You can change it down the track if you want to do something different. You can make all the excuses you want to wait. Trust me, I went through them. I could wait until I had more money to buy the bigger, better van or the bigger, better car or whatever. You are just procrastinating. Do it while you can, with what you can, if you ultimately want to do it. So the shit was getting real now. Last night in our house. Forever. So 7 years we've been here, yes. Nearly. We'd been packing our home that we'd lived in for 7 years, putting it away into a storage unit and repacking our new tiny home on wheels. To say this was mentally draining and stressful was an understatement. The whirlwind of emotions involved in that is unlike anything else I've really experienced. You know, I've experienced death and this was different. This is a shake-up of your life in a different way. Now it was time to go. I remember Lauren and I walking around our house those last few moments last few 5, 10, 15, I can't remember the actual time frame that we did it. Tears were flowing, the memories were coming back, our kids' rooms, walking into them, the pool, all the stuff that we had. Afterwards, I reflected and realised those memories come with us no matter what. We had a beautiful time in that home, but it was not the home, it was the memories of the experiences that were had at that place. You'll get them wherever you go. So we drove out the driveway for the last time. Tears flowing, kids waving, they didn't care. They really still don't care at this point. We've reflected on it. They're happy wherever we are, as long as we're together as a family. One more important thing that we often got asked travelling Australia was, how did we fund it? And it's a very valid question. For us, being, like I said, we sold our property, we had a lot of equity in that, so we did sell another property as well. So we managed to travel not having any debt on our van or our car. We also have an online business. A lot of people that we met travelling were either having the 12 months off doing working online like us, or got their own business that they can work remotely on, so you'll find a way. People were on long service leave. The average we spent travelling Australia back in 2020, 2021 was about $1,200 a week. Now that's based on us doing free camps, caravan parks, that was doing activities as well. So we did some expensive ones, some free ones, some cheap ones, some moderately expensive ones, depending on where we were in the country. Now it's time to show you what's awesome about van life, and not so awesome. Freedom to park wherever you want is like nothing you've experienced. You leave when you want. Destination happiness is real. Kids learning life skills and gaining more confidence. Most travel families will tell you kids love seeing a bunk fan in the side, and they'll run straight up to them and have a chat to them. And they're their new best friend for the next few days, a week, one day, whatever it may be. Meeting awesome people and gaining lifelong friends. Our friendship group completely changed when we were on the road. And those friends that we met on the road are still lifelong friends now. Family bonding was a great one. And just seeing the memories and happiness through our kids' eyes was something I'll never forget. And ultimately for me, it helped me with my mental state coming through a bit of a dark time.
Last night we were having a chat with some beautiful people about the importance of nature and what it can do for your mental health.
That was very, very important to us. Shit things about travelling Australia. No flushing toilet, that's a big one. Worrying about all your water in your van, worrying about your battery life in your van. Meeting shit people. Yeah, you do. You just move on, you say goodbye, and that's it. Big bed, alone time. You don't get a lot of that when you're traveling 24/7 in a tiny space. Drinking too much. Every day is happy hour. Every day has a happy hour. Every day we're drinking. Routine gets a bit out of whack. You can find the routine on traveling, but it is difficult because you're always in a different destination. You're always chasing that next event or activity or meeting people or whatever. That's a bit difficult. And the feeling of sometimes, very rarely, being unsafe. The benefit to that is you can pick up and move. Would we do it again? Hell yes, we will do it again. We highly recommend traveling full time. But what happens when it's time to finish? If you want to finish. Going through this footage, I remember how happy we were traveling full time, not having all the stresses of normal life to drag you down. It's a weird feeling once you finish traveling and put yourself back in that mainstream life and way of living. It's the moments like that that really remind you how amazing it was to travel full time and the desire to get back there down the track. So we will sit with normal life for a while, but we will get back out there and travel again. All right, let's go. Coming back to home base. So we had this desire for a home base after about 12 months of travel. As much as the gypsy lifestyle is amazing to me, the family really wanted to just stop for a minute, regroup, and just have a home base. It won't be long before we head off again, I'm sure about that. In the meantime, we've done some smaller trips. We've done a couple of months overseas, which is a couple of videos back there if you want to have a look at that. So are you living the life you dreamed? Remember that life expectancy age? You're going to live to about 81, between 81 and 85 for an Australian person, that's average. Well, that was partly why I quit drinking. You see, I'm over halfway there. If you haven't watched my video on why I quit drinking, I'll link that here. Thank you for watching, I do appreciate it. If you're interested in following my journey, you know what to do. Hit that little button down the bottom there called subscribe. And I'll see you next time on another video.